You're listening to the John and Heidi Show, now featuring the wit and wisdom of Dan Farris.
Okay, dudes, let's walk this sucker.
On Sunny 93.3.
It's the John and Heidi Show bonus hour with Mr. Dan Farris, brought to you in part by Reaper Arsenal Coffee.
Smells like freedom.
Freedom. Big birthday salute to Julius Caesar.
Yeah.
Julius.
The name July is actually named after Julius.
Holy cow.
And August is named after
Yes,
Augustus.
it is.
Just so you know.
Oh, wow.
The only 2 months that are 31 days back to back, unless you count January and December, but that's the beginning and the end. That doesn't really count.
Anyway.
Patrick Stewart is 81 today. What is he, like the second commander of the Starship Enterprise?
Yes.
I think so, yeah.
Is that how that works? And then he was like an X-Man guy, and 81. And one of his main rivals from the Star Wars movie, unbelievable, Han Solo. Harrison Ford is 79 today?
Nice. And he's working on a new Indiana Jones movie right now.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah, they had to stop for a little bit, but they're still working on it.
Okay. All right. I'm down with that.
Yeah.
Speaking of Hollywood actors and stars, it was 1923. The iconic Hollywood sign is officially dedicated.
Oh, yeah.
It actually originally reads in 1923 Hollywood Land.
Yeah.
But the last four letters are dropped during a renovation in 1949.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever seen a photo of Hollywood Land, the sign.
They're all over the place.
Okay, I
Mainly
don't get
on
out
the
much,
internet.
John. I've
On the internet and stuff.
actually never been to Hollywood, so
Well, we should take you there.
no,
You would
thank
hate it.
You would hate it.
I
We
would.
were there last year. It was
We
not-
hated it.
It was interesting.
This is interesting. You know, patent numbers.
Yeah.
If you get a patent, it gets numbered. It's a
Yes.
patent numbered. It's all official. Well, it was 1836. The U.S. patent number 1 is registered. But
To what?
here's the thing. Previously, 9,957 other patents were granted but weren't numbered. 'Cause they didn't use a numerical system.
Okay.
So weird. So it wasn't the first patent necessarily, but it has U.S. patent number 1, and it was for locomotive wheels.
Okay.
Yeah, without those locomotives don't go very
No,
far.
we were just talking about this a week or so ago. Just kind of, it's what got Heidi actually interested in figure skating. It was 1994. Tanya Harding's bestie,
Yeah, it was.
Jeff Kaluli, sentenced to 2 years in the Gray Bar Motel for kneecapping rival figure skater Nancy Kerrigan.
What a moment in American history.
Interesting.
How
And if-
bizarre.
It was fantastic.
There was a movie, I, Tanya, that kind of explains what, happened, supposedly.
She was actually really good.
She
She
really
was
was.
very good.
And
very, very,
she
very good.
was up against more than just the opponents on the ice because she wasn't wealthy. All of the things that she had to
It
do
was a
to
great
get
movie.
there.
You do need to watch the movie.
It's a
It
great
was good
movie. Yeah.
I know all about Tanya.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a great.
And Nancy,
That's a whole great
I have an autographed
scenario.
picture of Nancy Kerrigan, actually. Yeah, it's a fake.
It's not her autograph, but there's an autograph on it.
Years ago, and I won't name names, but he was a sportscaster here in town for one of the TV stations. And he's from, and I want to say Boston area, which is Kerrigan is from, and he was going home on vacation, blah, 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 and this was all big in the news. And I said, so do you know Nancy? And he says, actually, I do. I went to school with her.
Oh, yeah.
And he's dead serious. I said, well, bring me back an autographed, publicity shot. That'd be awesome. A couple of weeks later, he calls me. He says, yeah, I'm coming by. And he comes by the studios I'm at, and here's this 8x10 glossy that today I love Nancy Kerrigan. I looked at it and went, she misspelled her last name, dude. It was spelled with one R. Kerrigan is with two R's. And he's just looking at me, he's going, no, I'm going, oh yeah.
She had been drinking a lot.
It
so,
was pretty funny. I still have it in a box somewhere.
That's
so.
funny. Well, Dan, thanks for that, sir.
Absolutely. I know, we all know, and we just get this thing done.
We're going to do it. It's the John and Heidi Show bonus hour with Dan Farris, brought to you in part by Reaper Arsenal Coffee.
Smells like freedom.
I'm Nick from PureCannACompany.com. We create the purest form of CBD with just 3 ingredients. CBD, as simple as 1, 2, 3. Everything is 100% natural, GMO-free, gluten-free, kosher, and made in the USA. From the soil to the oil, we provide the purest form of CBD. We also keep the prices low, so we can help as many people as possible. Learn more at PureCannACompany.com. Oils, lotions, bath bombs, and more. Use promo code RADIO to save 10% at PureCana, PureCannACompany.com.
And now stuff Dan finds interesting.
Yeah. And it is time for Stuff Dan Finds Interesting. What do you find interesting on this Tuesday, good sir?
Well, I think maybe you'll find this interesting. I mean, you two do a lot of renovating.
Yes, we do.
For instance, the home you're in now, I want to say it's been, about 2 years?
Just about, yep.
Yeah, about 2 years.
Or so. You bought a property, you bought a home, and what you bought 2 years ago looks nothing like it does now. You literally redid everything.
Looking back, we should have bought a fixer-upper.
You're the only couple I've ever met who at some point walked into a home during the home buying process and said, we hate everything about this. Where do we sign?
Yeah,
we'll take
it. It's kind of what happened.
All right. This story comes to us out of Michigan. Who's doing a little remodeling, little demolition work. Basically, he was tearing out his back concrete steps on his property to redo, and he got down there in earth and whatnot. So far, he has unearthed 158 bowling balls.
Oh, wow.
Under his back steps. I'm not making this up.
Weird.
Somebody was using bowling balls for backfill.
Yes, that's exactly what it was. Brunswick Bowling Company, actually founded in this neck of the woods years ago. And at one point in this particular county, they had like 6 or 7 different manufacturing plants for all kinds of things, bowling and beyond. And when they would manufacture flawed or not quite right balls, they put them out there and people used them for other things.
Yeah.
Yeah, now it turns out part of his backyard, a big patio areas, he's finding even more balls.
That's awesome.
But yeah, he's up to almost 190 bowling balls.
That is crazy.
Someday, when somebody does some excavating in Brandon,
who knows what you're going to find? I mean, you start digging.
The house we built in Brandon, we buried some landscaping blocks. A couple boxes of old magazines. There's just all kinds of stuff. I had this giant hole, and Heidi's like, "Why are you throwing all that stuff in?" And I'm like, I gotta get rid of it somewhere.
In fact, he ended up he called the Brunswick Company.
Yeah,
and they informed him that back in the 1950s, they would make damaged bowling balls available for people to take them for free and use as landfill. So
that's awesome.
The property he's on is just absolutely lousy with bowling balls.
That's really funny.
Yeah.
So, aren't those needed on that property? I mean, if he's removing all that, is his house going to cave in? Was it?
No, it was just in place of dirt. So I'm sure he's like filling it back in with dirt, or maybe more bowling balls. Who knows?
Huh. Interesting.
Yeah, well, he's got a Facebook page up now about the whole thing because he's been contacted literally thousands of times. So
that's awesome. I wonder if any of the balls. So if they were all flawed, they probably wouldn't be worth bowling with.
No, in fact, a number of them didn't even have holes drilled into them.
Yeah.
His Facebook page, the Ballman Group, under the handle The Bowling Ball Guy.
There you go.
That's awesome. He's going to share his plans and updates on the status of his balls. So
when you were, have you ever come across anything interesting while doing renovations?
I don't do renovations. Are you serious?
I don't know. All the years. The most interesting thing I found, we were working on a house in Huron. That's where I'm from. A rental property that we had owned at the time, pulled off some paneling. Remember paneling? That stuff?
Oh, yeah.
And there was a bunch of money behind the paneling.
Holy cow.
It wasn't like a lot of money, but it was a bunch of small bills, like 1s and 5s and whatever, that somebody just stuck behind there, apparently because they thought it'd be funny to, stick like $8 behind the paneling. So we peel it off. We're like, hey, look at this. And it was like 20 years old at the time. I thought it was pretty cool. Like, hey, look at that. We got lunch money. So I don't know why it was there. I have no idea. It wasn't as cool as all the bowling balls, but it was still interesting. Dan, thank you, sir.
Hey, my pleasure.
That's why we call this Stuff Dan Finds Interesting. Hi, I'm John, and I'm here to show small businesses that radio is a great investment. So, what do you have here?
This is a Chinese Ming vase.
Wow, that looks expensive and a bit fragile.
Yes, it's valued at... Oh, my God, what are you doing?
Hey, that was fragile.
Why did you do that?
To show everyone that radio advertising is a much better investment than some old pottery. I hope you had insurance on that thing. Let BetterResultsAdvertising.com bring your message to life right here on the radio. Here's the legal lady.
No priceless heirlooms were destroyed. It was all in your mind. Thanks to BetterResultsAdvertising.com.
Time now for your morning coffee break, brought to you by Kaladi's Bistro on the corner of 26th and Minnesota Avenue in Sioux Falls. Mr. Farris back in the studio for his final time this morning. It goes too fast. You should be here for like 4 hours, and I should get to sleep in.
That would be lovely. Let's figure out how we can do that.
So what do you have for us over there, sir?
Well, driving around, I mean, you guys have driven multiple states, as have I.
Yeah.
It's really data signifying where are the rudest drivers, state by state. Not the worst drivers, that's a different category.
Right.
But the rudest drivers. I thought it was kind of interesting because there's something about like Sioux Falls. This town is crazy about tailgating. It makes me crazy.
They just want to hang out, man.
But that's not, is that rude or is that worst? That's kind of a combination.
Right.
It seems to me it's kind of a combination of both.
Right.
Because seriously, I can drive in a 35, get up to 40 miles an hour, kind of ride the lightning a little bit. And inevitably, there's somebody
right
jamming me from behind, even though I'm already above the speed limit. And it's just common every day, all day in this town.
And it's not just this town. It's all over the Midwest, actually.
Studies of the rudest drivers state with the rudest people and states with the worst drivers. But here's the thing. Rude driving record. The top, Florida, is up there with a score of 40. Rudest state had a score of 63, because this is where all the peacenik old hippies still live. Oregon is in the top 10, along with New Mexico, Tennessee, Washington, Arizona, Alaska, and Maryland. Like in the top 10 of the rudest.
Who was number one? Or you've not gotten to that?
I think it's Florida.
Oh, Florida is the rudest. We were just in Florida back in February, March, something like that, and I was driving a rental car, and one of the things that I'm amazed at the lack of blinkers. People wouldn't use it, and I think it's bad here from time to time, but down there it was like nobody used their blinkers.
I think as far as rude goes, the only rudeness I've noticed in Sioux Falls, as opposed to just bad drivers, but you can start driving in Sioux Falls when you're 9.
Yeah, pretty much.
And I'm one of those people, if somebody's trying to pull onto a busy street, I will let them in front of me.
Yeah.
And I appreciate the little finger wave, little nudge, something.
Yeah.
But more times than not, it just goes unappreciated totally.
That's like they expected to be let in.
Yeah, it's just kind of weird.
It's about time, Dan. Somebody should have let me in.
Yeah, but I've spent time in Florida because, my daughter lives in Florida.
Yeah.
And done a lot of miles with her and her husband, them driving. I never noticed really rudeness, but...
Well, I did. I was the one driving.
Okay. So you go, South Dakota, by the way, I think ranks like number 34th or something.
Oh, okay. So we're not doing bad.
No, as far as rudeness goes.
Yeah. 34th best or 34th worst?
34th best.
Okay, yeah, I understand. That's good.
Yeah.
Best. So we're doing okay. It's just, man, just get off my bumper.
Does it say who the friendliest state is by chance?
Vermont, I believe.
Oh,
really?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Vermont was the least rude state, followed actually by our neighbor Nebraska.
Nice.
Minnesota came in 4th, Montana 9th, and Iowa at 11th.
Oh, and the world did Iowa get 11th.
Wow, interesting.
I mean, we love you, Iowa. Dan, thanks for coming in, man.
Hey, thanks for having me. Appreciate it, guys.
It is the John and Heidi Show bonus hour with Dan Farris, brought to you in part by SiouxEmpireJobs.com.
I kind of feel like I've been talking about BetterCreditCards.com forever now, but we want to mention that BetterCreditCards.com is designed to help you get a better credit card. Why should that matter to you? Because this can save you money every single month. There's no fee to check it out, so when you get a minute, click on the website BetterCreditCards.com and see if we can help you find a better credit card. Do it today. BetterCreditCards.com. That's BetterCreditCards.com.
Time now for a bright spot of news, brought to you by Paul's Designer Showroom on Lake Lorraine in Sioux Falls. They can brighten any room with a beautiful light fixture. We are going to brighten your day with some awesome positive news. I have Jennifer Stenshaus joining us from Feeding South Dakota. Jennifer, how you doing?
Hey, John, doing good.
You guys do so many wonderful things year-round. There's always something good going on at Feeding South Dakota.
Well, hunger does last all year long, and we know that. That's our goal is to end hunger every month of each year. And we do have a lot of food drives going on right now, but we we just encourage anyone who is looking to do a service project to reach out to us. We would love to be able to partner with you and get you some information on hosting a food drive for us.
That would be wonderful. And again, the website, feedingsouthdakota.org, if you want to go there and get some information. Now, there were some changes in the last year because of COVID. Let's talk about how things have changed a little bit for Feeding South Dakota.
Yeah. Well, things did pivot for a lot of people, and it pivoted for us, too. We changed the way that we do our work. We closed our food pantries last spring. At first it was temporary, but it is a permanent closure for our Sioux Falls food pantry. And instead we're taking our show on the road, per se, and just going to neighborhoods in Sioux Falls where poverty is a little bit higher, where food insecurity is higher, food deserts are more prevalent, and those are basically areas in the town where they're not close to grocery stores or other nonprofit food resources. So really trying to target those areas and take food to where people live and work versus, always having having those folks come to us. And we know that transportation can be challenging at times. And so we're really excited about this change and looking forward to adding more neighborhood distributions in the future.
If somebody would like to find a location for all of that, where do they go to find that?
Yep, we currently have 7 locations in Sioux Falls, and so you can go to feedingsouthdakota.org/mobile. Click on Minnehaha County, and that will take you down to show you the different neighborhoods we're in. They're the addresses of our locations where we'll be. All of our distributions currently are in the evening times from 5:30 to 7:30 p.m. We don't come early. We do ask that you kind of help us out in those neighborhoods and not overload them, so we've got enough food for everyone. We serve about 250 families at each of our distributions.
That's awesome.
Just ask you bring your photo ID, and we'll get you registered.
And I'm looking on here right now, and I see several of these are like at church parking lots, and I see some at a school parking lot, another one here at a business center. And that when it's time to find a new location, do those locations come to you, or do you typically go to them? How does that work?
So those locations are permanent locations, and they do have a frequency listed by each of them, whether it's the first Monday of each month or the second Tuesday of each month. But we're working with. We go to them. We are looking for targeted areas of the community, and so we're trying to find partners, obviously with large parking lots, and also hoping to get volunteer support from those organizations as well. All of the churches come with their members to help us volunteer, and what a great blessing that is, that they're not only providing us space but manpower to help feed all of the families that are coming to visit.
That is fantastic. And if you would like to be a volunteer, if you'd like to learn more about any of that, feedingsouthdakota.org is the website. And I also see you're on Facebook, facebook.com/feedingsd, and I encourage people to like that page, follow that page. You guys have got a lot of updates on there, and you do just such a great job of helping people in need. So thank you for doing what you do.
Of course. This is what we do, and this is a love and a passion for a lot of us, and really just want to make sure that when all else in the world seems to be going sideways, that we can be there to help people and take one less worry off of their plate.
That is a wonderful thing to do. And again, our guest today has been Jennifer with Feeding South Dakota. Their website, once again, feedingsouthdakota.org.
Addiction is a problem for many, and addiction can drive away those you love the most. Addiction can also lead to the loss of jobs, relationships, and if you're not careful, addiction can even cost you your life. TimeForRehab.com reminds you that you don't need to let addiction tear your life apart anymore. Get the help you need to defeat addiction and put the pieces back together in your life. Learn more at TimeForRehab.com. We want to help. TimeForRehab.com. That's TimeForRehab.com.
Time now for Ranger Dan's Critter Corner, brought to you by Reaper Arsenal.
Well, I'm ruggedly handsome. I'm a heck of a man. I mess around with nature whenever I can.
He's Ranger Dan.
Yes, sir, I'm Ranger Dan. Well, I love the little critters and the big critters, too. Like to cook them up in a tasty stew.
He's Ranger Dan.
Yes, sir, I'm Ranger Dan. Well, it's time for Critter Corner right here on Sunny. If you like the show, then send me some money.
He's Ranger Dan.
Cash and credit card only. Yes, sir. I'm Ranger Dan.
Good morning, Ranger Dan.
Good morning, Ranger Dan.
I felt snappy little salute off the well-snatched brim of the Ranger Dan camp to you two. Look at you over there, Manny. Hello, Heidi.
Ranger Dan.
Hello, Heidi. Hello, Heidi. You know, it's been a while since old Critter Corner here really got down to some critter knowledge.
Yeah, it's been a while.
It's happened. Life goes on. And again, appreciate everybody who came out for my Uncle Stump's memorial service on Saturday at the log cabin. Looks like that thing rolled right into Sunday. Holy cow. Goodness gracious me. Anyway, I just kind of tripped across a little bit of news here, and I thought it was fascinating. According to people who know these things, in fact, conservationists in China, conservationist Chinese officials say, the giant panda is no longer on the endangered species list,
cool.
which is nice. In fact, they're going, we got over 1,800 of them big old panda critters now running around in the wild, which is pretty darn good because it took decades. That thing was almost extinctiated.
Nice.
Giant panda's doing just fine. Now, I thought we'd kind of dive in a little bit here, little Radio Rangers, and have some things you may not know about giant pandas. Now, they are called giant pandas because they're generally bigger than regular pandas. Giant pandas are, in fact, they're found in China. Now, the giant pandas in zoos, like in the United States, are actually rented or leased from China for, listen to this, up to $1 million a year.
No kidding.
That sounds like a lot, but that money, of course, is evenly distributed among the Chinese people because that's how communism works. It's a win-win.
Yes, it is.
Now, it has taken decades and decades to bring the giant panda's population back from that endangered and almost extinctiation because giant pandas, well, they just really aren't very interested in that whole reproduction situation.
Really?
Here's why. The female giant panda is only, as they say, in the mood for about one single day a year. That's a fact. And the males are more interested in just eating and sleeping.
Huh.
It's true, leading giant panda scientists to believe that giant pandas are most likely descended from an elderly Norwegian Lutheran couple. That's all the time we have today, little Radio Rangers. I hope you learned something. I know my brain is bursting. Until next Critter Corner, this is Ranger Dan out. Stay with me.
Yes, sir.
I'm Nick from PureCannaCompany.com. We create the purest form of CBD with just 3 ingredients. CBD, as simple as 1, 2, 3. Everything is 100% natural, GMO-free, gluten-free, kosher, and made in the USA. From the soil to the oil, we provide the purest form of CBD. We also keep the prices low so we can help as many people as possible. Learn more at PureCannaCompany.com. Oils, lotions, bath bombs, and more. Use promo code RADIO to save 10% at PureCanna, PureCannaCompany.com.
Here's your Market Beat Minute for Tuesday, July 13th, 2021. The market appears to be shrugging off all other worries in favor of the earnings outlook. Monday's market pushed the S&P 500 up another 0.35% to set another new all-time high, and it looks like it will continue to go even higher. The only obstacles now are the results of the second quarter earnings season, and those results start rolling in today. Reports from JP Morgan, Goldman Sachs, PepsiCo, and ConAgra brands should paint a fairly detailed picture of the broad U.S. economy. The risk for the market is the high expectations for results. If the average S&P 500 company fails to beat the consensus target by a wide enough margin, the entire stock market could be in for a correction. Trading at nearly 22 times its forward earnings estimate, the S&P 500 is highly valued and ripe for a sell-off. You can get the inside track at marketbeatminute.com.